And then a date will be fixed for the council, wherein hopefully all the members will talk about how the report has come about and what is it that we have to do further. So that's a process in which I have to follow. Sanjay, you want to say?
We will be getting it in the finance bill. So as and when, all the states and the center are able to get it through, so it will take time, as you are aware, because everyone has to actually get their own laws passed through their respective legislatures.
105.
Ma'am, there could you please explain what was the earlier issue and what has been clarified now? What's the treatment going to be now?
As it is what has been issued. In fact, that gives me an opportunity to explain and put forth one thing right up front. In this council meeting, there has not been any tax increase on any item. Everything that has been done is to issue clarifications where ambiguity of interpretations prevailed. Like even the issue of rub, which is the juice extracted from sugarcane, which after that, when it goes into the machine of the centrifugal, whatever, churns out molasses. But the juice prior to going into the machine, what UP calls as rub, was a subject of ambiguity prior to today's meeting, where one state issued for rub producers a notice saying, why can't I tax you? Because that is molasses. Whereas that person would say, no, it is rub. So such kind of situations have all been gone through by the fitment committee. And in this meeting, if there is a one dominant feature, it is on very many such issues where we issued clarifications. No new taxation has been brought in, no new taxes at all. Majority of all that has been discussed is fitment committee's recommendation that's been brought to the council on clarifications provided or necessary to be provided on very of these. RAB is an example that I've taken. Similarly, is this SUV. There too, we have given an explanation based on all the discussion which has happened through the fitment committee. And on the SUVs, the clarification that has been given that the higher rate of compensation cess of 22% is applicable to motor vehicle fulfilling all four conditions. And the four conditions are, it is popularly known as SUV. So if the vehicle is already known as an SUV and it has engine capacity exceeding 1500 cc, and then the length exceeding 4000 mm, and a ground clearance of 170 mm or above, which is in the notification entry number 52B. So that clarification has been brought in. But even as we brought in this clarification, there was a request to bring in or add to this MUVs, which are now being already in the market and people are talking about it and so on. So what has been agreed by the council is that this goes ahead, this clarification goes ahead. But if there is anything else which has to be added on to this 22% rate, the fitment will look into it. And any state or any minister who wants to add, saying this also comes under that category of SUV, please use it. Because this whole discussion, I think, emerged when questions about whether sedans should be included or not. Some states interpret it this way, some interpret it in some other way. So this clarification is not new tax. It's more to say what defines that commodity which is under taxation as SUV. So that's the issue.
Next,
Uh,
Garish.
Ma'am, Girish from Mint. Ma'am, given that economic growth rate is getting more normalized and is expected to further normalize in the next quarter and also probably in the next financial year, where do you see the average, monthly collection, revenue collection stabilizing at in this year and probably next, if you have any figures?
Girish, I'm glad you're asking this question. Now, I think you've seen a trend of about 6, 7 months continuously doing well above 140, so April reaching 160 or above. I think now, not just me, the council, many members, not discussed today, be sure of that. As and when we interact, are also now concerned about widening the tax base. We need the revenue, we're getting it, we are trying to stabilize it at some number, and all that is there. Instead of my speculating on what that number would be, where you can comfortably place your finger and say that's what is going to be the, um, you know, for sure average rate collection. I think there should now be, and most of us agree, we should at every level attempt to widen the GST base. So the focus will be on how much all of us are putting effort towards that, so that state plus the center put an effort consciously to widen the tax base.
90. Yeah.
No, no, 15 were tabled, 7 plus 1, the 8 were taken up and sorted out. And the tribunal, the two of them are very important. So they will be taken up. We are trying to address this at the earliest, meaning address this in the sense, take up this tribunal GOM's recommendation at the earliest possibly. So not necessary immediately to ask me when is the date, but at the earliest we would like to have it. So no interim arrangements.
Yeah, Shrimi from Business Standard. Ma'am, as the council decided today to bring Mentha oil under reverse charge mechanism, if you could explain how this will help to curb, uh, you know, all the, which is like tax evasion prone commodities, how this will help.
So let me clarify that mentha oil was already under reverse charge mechanism. This is not a new decision. What was decided today was to include mentha arvensis, which is also like mentha, under the reverse charge mechanism. So it's not a new decision. As to how it helps, reverse charge mechanism helps. You are all aware, how value added taxation and taxation at each level helps. So we are just trying to uh, capture, if I may use the word, the taxpayer at each level in the value chain. So that's how it will help in better implementation of GST, which is a value-added taxation.
One.
Hello, ma'am. This is Surbi from the Financial Express. Ma'am, just wanted to understand that was there any discussion on when the next GST Council meeting would be? And if you could give us some idea of what are the pending items apart from the GOM reports? Thank you.
No decision has been taken on when the GST council meeting would be. The pending items, I've told you about the two GOMs. They are largely the main things. Other than that, very small.
And that they were, very formal kind of agenda, like mostly for information, like the GST, and one agenda was related to, the revenue. We give out, the revenue figures every year. So this was one agenda which could not be covered. Another agenda was what the GSTN does, and there were certain recommendations more in the nature of information.
A last question.
Consideration for the no bonus claim on insurance. What was the industry demand and what was the discussion in the GST Council on for no bonus claim on insurance?
So see what, yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So the issue was whether no claim bonus is to be included in the taxable value or not. And there were some disputes around that. What the council has today clarified that no claim bonus will not be includable in the value and therefore it will not be taxable.
सर
राजीव
राजीव दैनिक जागरण से सर एक चीज क्लेरिफाई करना चाहते हैं फेक इनवॉइस को डिक्रिमिनलाइजेशन से बाहर रखा गया है या उसी में है
Fake.
So you already had, you currently have a limit of 1 crore in law for, beyond which only cases are recognized as, attracting criminal action. What was proposed to the council and what came out of the discussions was that the limit will be enhanced from 1 crore to 2 crore now. So cases involving a tax amount of up to 2 crores will go out to the purview of criminal action, except cases of fake invoices, because it was felt by the council that we still have cases of fake invoicing, and until we are able to more squarely address it over a period of time, the current threshold of 1 crore should be retained. So the present threshold of 1 crore has been retained only for fake invoice cases. Others have been decriminalized and up to the threshold has been raised to 2 crore.